Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades as per usual. I'm going to be doing a bit of analysis here for you guys on Saturday, even though the market's closed on Friday, and it is a long weekend after all, and the market's going to be closed on Monday for Martin Luther King Day, I believe. You know, my house had flooding, and we're finally doing the flooring here, so bit of a mess, and that's why I wasn't able to do the video yesterday, but I'll do it for you guys now. Let's get right into it here. So the markets are pushing higher. It has potentially invalidated this B wave top here as the market's pushed on to make it a higher high on Thursday. Friday. Yeah, I believe this was a third. Sorry, I'm on the 4 hour. So yeah, on Friday we actually gapped open and we did sell off into the close, but we still ended with a positive day. If the market does end up getting this C leg though, let's say we do end up selling off, then this would be my point of interest for buying into the market. And really, it's just like a huge opportunity that you don't want to miss if we do get this retrace, because we will most likely hold this level. And I know there's a lot of bearishness out there in the market with the economic numbers and stuff like that, and potential top in the market crash, all that stuff. But again, the markets can push higher. I know it's difficult to accept, but that's just the reality of the situation. The market can stay very delusional, detached for a longer period of time than people can think, right? And there's probably a lot of people who think there's a lot of bullishness. The economy is very bullish, but again, once the earnings will probably start to show, decay and stuff like that. The companies can only lay off so many people to make their earnings look better for so long. After that, once they can't lay any more people off, then the earnings will really show their true colors. But for the time being, buy the dip, right? But let's take a look here. So yeah, that's basically it. This is the setup, and you should be coming down in the wave 2. If the wave 2 is already finished, then it would have ended here, and you're just gonna go straight up from here right to 510 is my primary target. Looking at the SPY on the daily time, we'll start off with the larger time frames. Let's start off with the monthly. So the monthly is still looking very bullish here. No sign of a significant top. And we'll take a look at the weekly. So the weekly is showing here a 14 and a 0. So actually quite bearish, right? So we had a bit of a consolidation week, a bit of a stall out here, right around the highs. And we'll have to see if next week turns out to be a red dot. And if it confirms, because if it does, then this means that we will get this sell-off down to here, right down to, I believe, 460 to as low as 453. Is where I'm going to be looking to buy the dip and probably get into some, triple leverage ETF longs and stuff like that. Get into some longs on Owenda, and I'll give you guys those trade signals inside the Discord. We actually closed 2 trades on Hedgeline Trading, 2 positive trades on Euro USD and the S&P. So again, congrats to those people who are following me. Again, those are free trades I'm just providing as well. Daily looking very bullish actually, -4 and a 12. Increasing green money flow, 4 hour, very similar situation. You actually have higher highs here on the market, but lower highs on the momentum wave. So actually that is a bit of a bearish divergence. And on the 4 hour, you have decreasing green money flow. So it'll be interesting to see if we can get this B wave retrace, right? Or sorry, the C leg, and the B wave stopped out. Looking at wave edge here on the weekly time frame, nothing here to see on the SPY. Nothing on the daily time frame. We did get some selling the last couple of weeks, right? And then we did get that sell-off. 4 hour, we don't have any more significant selling from the whales, but we do have a red cross here at the top. So that's going to be a bit of a point of interest to see if we can manage to get a reversal or if we push higher. But I'll be watching the markets like a hawk here. So I'll be paying attention to these signals, and I'll let you guys know right away what I'm going to be doing. Triple Q, similar situation. Triple Q is actually have been pushing higher, making new all-time highs. And again, it's really similar to the S&P. If we do get that retrace, I'll be looking to buy the dip. Basically the same thing. Maybe we'll draw a bit of a pivot right around here, right? And I do believe it should stop around 491. If we do go lower, you probably can readjust this line just down to here. You can probably retest this pivot as well. Maybe right around 390, to 388, something like that. And then if the SPY ends up being at 453 around there, then that's probably the same low for the triple Qs. If you have more risk appetite, you could probably chance your long there. Let's take a look at the triple Qs on the weekly. So weekly, very similar situation as well. 15 and a -3 on the dual band strength index. And it's showing a potential top here on the weekly with the last week confirming a red dot. But again, pushing higher this week and kind of negating it. Daily time frame looking quite bullish. Actually, you have increasing green money flow. It's starting to come back. And you have the green dot confirmation of a low here, which was we actually caught that rally as well. 4-hour time frame, again, same thing as a SPY. You have higher highs, except for this one, but you are putting in lower momentum waves. So the momentum is starting to decrease, and we could be getting ready for a retrace. So don't be surprised if we do get one. And then finally on wave edge, similar situation. Nothing on the weekly. Looking at the daily, we got that selling, big money selling at the highs here, and then get that retrace. 4-hour, you got that red cross at the top. Same thing as a SPY. And I mean, on the 1 hour, you can see like they really bought the dip, right? This was the dip to buy, and they bought it, but they haven't sold yet, which means it's still possible that the wave 2 is in, and we're just going to go straight up, right? I mean, big money can keep pushing this thing up on light volume. Let's actually talk about the TLT. I'll talk about the TLT because someone requested it, and I keep putting it in my description, but I don't talk about it as much. But we talk about the yields, right? So if the yields are going one way, that should be telling you that the TLT is going to do the opposite of what the yields are doing. But yeah, it's showing that we may have put a significant low in the TLT. Let's cover here. We'll get on the larger time frames. Start off with the weekly. So you can see, we'll even go on the monthly, right? You can see on the monthly, we have a bullish divergence, right? We've made lower lows, a low here, and then a lower here, a lower low here on the price. But we're making a higher low on the momentum waves. So you're diverging, and the momentum is starting to pick back up towards the upside, which means this can very well continue towards the upside, right? On the larger time frames, on the weekly, on the monthly. On the weekly, however, the weekly is showing that this could be potentially starting to top out as the momentum wave is curling in. So you can very well do something like this, where the yields come back. The TLT comes back in, the yields spike, right? But you still put in, maybe you put in a lower low, or you don't, right? Maybe you just back test the double bottom, but you make a higher low on the momentum waves. That would be very bullish, and that would probably be your final buying opportunity before on the weekly time frame you exit that red money flow and cross back into the green and have a big rally in the TLT, which means that yields are going to be cut. And pull the markets, the Fed is pivoting. They have pivoted, but like the Fed is folding in, that they're done, right? They're panicking. Yeah, I mean, look at this low right here on the weekly time frame. Significant buying, right at 82. That's where big money was loading up on the weekly time frame, and a 22% rally followed suit. Daily time frame, big money buying at the lows, and then look what they're doing now, selling at the highs. So this is just whales unloading at the highs. 4-hour time frame, similar situation. So I mean, this is not the time to be buying here, right? You want to be buying when big money's buying and selling when big money's selling. It's just very straightforward. It's very, very easy. I mean, there's not much to it. But the problem is that emotions get in the way, right? Emotions and stuff like that. People tend to panic. But yeah, this is basically it. Nothing really much to add. Let's look at some individual names now. We'll finally cover Roku. Let's dive right in. We'll take a look at Roku. So Roku making a lower low today, I believe. So it has broken the low. I do expect Roku to potentially continue its downwards trend towards $78 to $70. And once it reaches my buy area, I will be intrigued into opening a long position once we get to this level. Once we do get to this level, I think we have a potential chance of finding a low and a sharp reversal back up towards the upside. That's basically it. Let's take a look at Starbucks here. We'll take a look at Starbucks. So Starbucks actually managed to break the low here right around 91, or basically the previous pivot. And it pierced, right? When there wasn't too much volume in terms of selling, but it's broken. It's out of my resistance box now, and it is pushing lower. It could just be looking to try and stop out the people who are longing into this buy area. but I would have stopped out by now if you're in a trade. But again, if you are a convicted investor, not convicted, if you're convinced a really strong investor and you plan on holding this, then yeah, there should be no problem. I mean, you're technically getting into some oversold areas here. Big money has been buying Starbucks for quite a bit of time. You can look at the 4 hour. They are actually loading up even more at the lows here. Smaller time frames, on the 1 hour, they already loaded up here. And then we got that small pop. But I like it when the big money starts to load up on the 4 hour. And the larger time frames, you start to get some green crosses. That's like usually it's quite a good sign to see. And then you got this oversold condition starting to happen on Wave Edge X. Wave Edge Y, yeah, Wave Edge X. So again, oversold conditions, get ready for a potential pump back up. 4 hour time frame, big money's loading up. So that's really good news for Starbucks. Let's take a look here. We'll go over and we'll head over to take a look at Apple. Apple is pumping up, I believe, just slightly today, or not today, I should say on Friday, had a slight update, a fractional from previous close. But Apple should continue up in this wave 2 here, and it should do something like this, right? A bit of an ABC, and then it should be finished. Could it already be finished? Yeah, technically. I mean, if you maybe go on the smaller time frames, you can make your case that it was a very small B, right? And then you're already done. You're just chopping around and C. But I actually like the other setup a little bit more. But we'll have to see how deep this B goes, right? So if the markets pull back, right, maybe the the B isn't in, or maybe the wave 1 is extending still. So again, Elliott wave is a little bit subjective, so that's why it's a little bit better to do it on the indices sometimes, not just straight up on the individual names. But it does work very well in individual names as well. You always want to, but you want to keep a close eye on what the indexes are doing. All right, Nvidia is still extending in this 5th wave, so it's in price discovery right now. I wouldn't be trying to start like, I'm already into some shorts, but I'm just gonna hold them because I have a lot of margin available, and I know that eventually the markets will pull back. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. But again, do what's best for you, and I'm doing what's best for me. All right, so this could have finished already. The wave 3 could have finished here, and now you're probably gonna get maybe a bit of a retrace and then reload and then start to continue in the final leg up in the 5th wave, and maybe you'll get to 600 on Nvidia. Let's talk about Tesla. Tesla is actually a very interesting one. Tesla has been selling off quite a bit now. I think I thought I had done some I thought I adjusted my count already, but I guess I'll just do it again because I guess it did save. But I'll delete this and I'll delete this because this was like a while back, right? So this looks like that the wave 3 finished here. We got a wave 4, a retrace, and then a 5th wave down here. All right, so the C leg could have already finished, or maybe we haven't gotten it yet, right? And it's just doing something like that, or it finished. So now you could be starting a whole new cycle higher, and we can do our count. So our 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What you're doing now is essentially an ABC correction, if I'm not mistaken. All right, something like that. And you're finishing the C leg, and then you'll start a whole new cycle up, right? So you're probably going to do something like that, wave 2, and then a 3. You probably go to new all-time highs, and then you finish up, right, breaking the, or maybe you don't break new all-time highs, but you could go significantly higher. Maybe you'll double top, right, and then you'll finish up. But that's what I'm seeing for Tesla right now. I mean, it's extremely oversold. If we get on the smaller time frames, I'll show you guys where my target is. So we'll actually do some math here. Excuse me. And let's just get down and do some retraces. Is my fib tool? There we go. So the B wave finished here, and then we'll just extend it up, and then we'll pull it down. So B leg of a wave 2, and then you can do. I actually like between the 786 right now, since it's oversold, to the 100% retracement as low as 212. It's a pretty good area to start loading the boat, in my opinion. So let's just take a look, and we will draw a rectangle area. So this should be the buy area right now. If we are able to hold this, then yeah, we have a strong reversal out, and you should keep pumping higher with Tesla. But if it breaks the low here and you keep selling off, Then all this was maybe, you know, a connector for the B wave, and what it did was just extend for a longer period of time, and then your main target is down here at 140, right? So that's you got your bullish case and you got your bearish case for Tesla. So actually, for you guys, you Tesla lovers. All right, and then we'll probably finish up. Actually, that's enough. I covered enough individual names. If you guys want more, just submit your stock in the description, and I'll take a look at it for you. I'll take a look at oil very quickly. So cover oil. Oil breaching the high once again, extending the wave 2. Still valid technically. That hasn't been invalidated yet, but it should be coming down lower. If it doesn't, then you know maybe we finished up. But to me this looks like it should come lower at any moment. But you got to be patient with these oil. You know, commodities don't move so fast. They may take a longer period of time to play out. All right, so something like that. So that's oil for you. Look. Too many counts on my screen. It's messing up. It's messing everything up. Yeah. Okay. Natural gas. So natural gas extremely bullish, continuing to push higher here. To me, this looks like a bit of an ABC. Very good retrace. So maybe this is just setting up for a big wipeout next week on nat gas. This would be about a 20% retrace. I know it doesn't look like much, but natural gas 16% sell off. So again, this would be quite significant for nat gas. But I would like to open some positions if we were able to get down there. Let's do a bit of a fib retrace. So again, pull it up to the high of the A, and then you can bring it down to the B, and then you have your target right here between 1. Or sorry, you can do the 76, but to me, between the 1 and the 1 and then the 1.618. So right between this area. And we'll have to see. We'll have to adjust our target depending on how volatile the market is. But yeah, so similar situation for Tesla. So if it does, you know, just because it's so oversold, I like the setup right now because the B wave is extending. But if you want to extend your buy or your lower, you can. But at one point you got to stop out, right? You can't just keep holding onto a trade for too long. All right, let's move over and we'll finish off with gold and silver and probably the dollar. So the dollar continues to chop sideways here. It could be putting in consolidation to go higher, which it kind of looks like it wants to do. Just looking at the RSI. Yeah, I mean, once you break this downsloping RSI, you're probably gonna break out, right? So if the RSI starts to push up and the dollar pushes up like this, then yeah, the markets are gonna go lower and the dollar is breaking out, which means yeah, you don't want to be holding to too many long positions. You probably sit on some cash if you don't want to short. And then once it finishes up in a final C leg, then you wait, and then you wait for the C leg in the 5-wave move down, and that's when you long the markets. All right, so just looking at the dollar, that's kind of what I'm looking for if we do get a retrace. And then yeah, we'll finish off with gold and silver. So gold again, putting in some consolidation at the highs here. Oh, sorry, that's a monthly. Yeah, on the daily, putting in some consolidation. But gold looks like it does need to retrace back. You know, you got to shake some people out before you head to new all-time highs. Same thing for silver. You know, I think we got to shake out the weak hands before we got to clean the house before we move up and the dollar, you know, starts to implode. And trust me, I will be longing commodities and adding even more to my long-term holdings once we get up to here on the dollar. All right. So that's basically it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful day. Peace.